So I appreciate you so much for being here, bro.
Man, listen.
Pull the mic a little closer to you.
I appreciate you for having me.
Because, a lot of people don't want to be a part of the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like, your story. Mm-hmm. They only want to jump on when the book is already pretty much written. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I'm going to be Joe Rogan or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, help somebody out, man. Like,
everything to me, every story has a lifeline. You may think that you're the only one. You're never the only one. On my page, on my TikTok page, everything that's on there is a result of things that I've been through. And when I was at my lowest point, I found this guy on YouTube, Trent Shelton, and I started listening. And then I started journaling. And then when I started journaling, like I said, I ran back to my faith. And he says, I'm going to use you to help others. So I just started putting my stuff out, my experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And
you wasn't embarrassed or like?
In my mind, I was like, I ain't doing that. I ain't put my personal stuff out there. I'll put like little quotes out, little biblical quotes out, stuff like that. And I didn't care. I didn't care what people thought.
The funny thing is, I'm a Catholic. Mm-hmm. And I believe in God. Mm-hmm. But I didn't purposely start this to talk about faith and talk about people who believe in God. But mm-hmm. but every person I had already, everybody who came over are actual buddies of mine, friends of mine, or family members, or close. Mm-hmm. Everybody believes in God. Now, am I willing to speak to people who don't believe in God? Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. I don't have any problem with anybody's beliefs as long as they don't try to push their beliefs on me.
I agree.
That's it. That's where the mental health issues come in place and all of that stuff. Like, I stop, please. I'm telling you this what I believe, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, with that being said, pies. What the hell?
You know how long I've been doing pies?
What were you, Aretha Frank? I mean, what?
Oh, Patti LaBelle pies.
Patti LaBelle.
I've been baking pies almost 25 years.
How come it's always the slim people that be making the fat people food though? That like what?
This is where it started.
First of all, what you have a name of a pie company?
Yes.
What's the name of
my
your
company?
Yeah, your pie company.
Honey Child Pies.
Honey
Child's Pies.
Child's, CHOWS?
CHILDS. Child's.
Honey Child's. Okay.
That's my grandma's nickname.
Okay.
So I named the company after her.
Honey Child's.
And how I got started, like I said, I've been baking pies maybe like 25 years. But I only made it for family and just little gatherings. My intent was never to even start
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how it started, everybody got they grandma's pies that they love, right?
Right.
So then my grandma passed away. This was 1994, I think. She passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
I appreciate that. So I missed that taste. And then when I couldn't find it, I stopped eating sweet potato pie altogether.
Honey Child's.
Mm-hmm.
It's only sweet potato pies?
No. I make sweet potato pies, peach cobbler, apple pie, and I want to expand it to coconut bread puddings, things that she made and I ate as a kid.
So with your product now, have you scaled yet, or you still have it pretty much local?
It's local for now,
mm-hmm.
because the shipping and the logistics for getting it out, it's a lot.
Right.
It's more expensive and more time consuming than people think, and it's just me.
And you still have a
full-time job.
9 to 5.
Exactly.
Right.
So it started just with an idea. Like I said, she passed away. I couldn't find the pie. And I found a lady in Deerfield at Piccadilly's. when I was working for Coca-Cola, way before UPS.
Piccadilly dip. Man,
exactly.
I did that. I'm
way
in
back.
Piccadilly.
And I went in there and I tasted a slice of her pie. And I was like, wait a minute. It's like my grandma's pie. And then, unfortunately, she passed away.
What?
Right. So I just stopped completely.
No pies.
None. I just went cold turkey for like.
So there wasn't another female in the family that
Yeah, that's how it
she
happened.
passed the recipe down to?
You're right. I was talking to my auntie who stays out in Texas.
Okay.
And we were talking, and I was like, man, I showed Miss Grandma pie. And she say, I got the recipe. I'm like, really? I said, right. And I say, send it to me. She sent it to me with instruction. So I started practicing it. You know. I tasted it. I said, it's there, but it's not something missing.
Because you know what.
I know that taste. I've been eating it all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got better at it and better at it. And what sold me, I made some pies and I let my grandpa taste it. And when he took one bite.
Give you that.
No, he just took one bite and he said,
give you that blue check. Certified.
This tastes like your grandma pie.
Yeah.
And that was it. And thus, honey child pies.
So Nick helps with the pies? Nick.
Not with the pies itself, but the idea, because he started his business before I started mine.
Yeah, I want to get into that when I get Nick in
so,
here. You and him almost kind of inspired me, because I'm like, if they have the time to put out food products,
it ain't easy.
I should have the time to start a business that I don't even have to leave my house. And
exactly.
And I really got a lot of inspiration from you two guys. How important is it to you to have multiple streams of income?
It's very important, because the time we live in right now is tough. Cost of living across the board is going up.
Years ago, your 9 to 5 was enough, especially the man had a decent job to hold it down. Maybe even his spouse didn't even have to work. She could just stay home, take care of the kids, or maybe work a little part-time job. Now both people in the house
exactly
gotta put 40 hours or more a week.
These times, 2 incomes,
2 full incomes.
You can have 2 full incomes and still barely make it.
Still not making it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about we have a yacht parked out in
that's
Maldives.
Just making it, man. That's just making it.
I'm talking about buying it groceries at any store.
The grocery store alone will put them hands on you.
I think we almost got a divorce because of my wife going to the grocery store. I'm like, you need to go to different stores. And I like the Publix experience. I said, Publix gonna get you divorced.
It's expensive, especially you have kids. Oh man, active kids.
I mean, I remember the groceries used to be, she'd go there and come home. Oh, I spent $250. I spent $270. She'd come home and she started saying I spent $430, and then the product that she was bringing in, you spent $430, and you don't even have dinner for the week.
Exactly, like, half the basket with
where's
no
the
meat.
Dinner for the week?
100 plus, 150 plus.
I'm like, man, I don't know how long that this can go on. So,
I mean, we gonna make it, man. You just gotta hold on and believe.
How far are you with Honey Childs now, and where do you want it to go?
2 years in. Mm-hmm. And eventually, I want to open up a storefront. Storefront. Like a full-fledged bakery. So that's the goal. That's the long term.
That sounds nice. I'm definitely gonna be a customer there. I also think in order to make it in anything, not any business, you have to have some kind of online service to offer your product to the masses. I don't care what it is. Even if you're a mechanic, you got to be online so that other people could see that, hey, there's a mechanic over here.
I use social media. And when I first launched social media, I was getting people calling, Texas, California, all over. Because, you try to put out a good product. And one thing I learned, it not only has to taste good, it got to look good. Because people buy with their eyes first. That's the first thing.
That's the only thing I buy with, my nose and my eyes. I really don't buy with the taste. at all. I don't buy with the taste. I come back
afterwards
for the taste. But
exactly.
I don't buy with the taste. I had already purchased a product from this restaurant, but I said, "Hey man, let me try your. It's a new restaurant I went to, and they had some jerk pork and jerk chicken. So I said, let me try the pork." So she said, "All right, come back." But what brought me in the restaurant was the smell, because they were out back on the grill jerking the food, jerk the chicken, jerking the pork, and I'm like, "That's smelling normal." So I said, "All right, let me go investigate." I said, "How long you guys been here?" I said, "Oh, we just took over this restaurant from the previous owner." I said, "Boy, the smoke draw me out." He said, "No, man, come in, man." So I said, "All right." I go inside. He said, "Sit on, man, take a drink." And so they gave me a drink. So I said, "Can I try the pork?" So he gave me the piece of pork. Sean, the smell did not disappoint. So I said, I don't want nothing else. I know how to cook. I don't want your rice. I don't want your vegetables. I don't want anything. Just give me chicken and pork. He said, "Well, sir, we don't really sell it like that, you know." So I pull out some money, put it on the counter.
I bet they sell it in, right? Exactly. Money talk, boy.
I said, "I want this much chicken and this much pork." And the owner came from back and said, "All right, man, salt out the money." And then they did it. So,
yeah, like you said, your
nose
and your eyes first before your taste.
Yeah, but when I did taste one of your pies, I don't know if I bought it or somebody gave me. I think you might have gave me a very small.
The minis. That's my biggest seller.
Yeah, and I was stuck. So I said, this year coming, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get some, and pass them out as, because here's the thing, Sean. You have friends that are doing things, right? First of all, one hand wash the other. So if somebody does something for you, I feel like you should, you don't have to, but I feel like you should also keep in mind that you should repay the favor. One. And two, you're going to the store to buy these same products anyway. And it's probably not made with as much love, as much care, as much cleanliness than what's being made here. Why not buy these pies instead of the ones you get from Walmart, Publix, or wherever? And then when you go for Thanksgiving, you pass those out. "Oh, I brought this. And then who knows who might taste it and say, "Oh, where you got this from?"
You only need one person.
And
I get that from Nick. Nick said you need one person to fall in love with your pie or your product.
The right person.
Exactly. And once he told me that, I never stood off of that. I never. What I did when I first started, I put myself in the negative intentionally. I wasn't in it for the money, because I wanted to know, because different people taste differently. Some like sweet, some like not so sweet. Some like the texture like this, some like homemade crust, some like so. The first month or so, I would give it away just I wanted the feedback. And once I started getting the feedback, then I knew how to narrow on how, because you can't cater to people with one taste, because some people are diabetic. So now I know I have to make these pies different than I would a regular pie. So once
you can market those people as well. You can make both pies. You just don't make as many as one product, because you know what your seller is going to be.
Exactly.
But you can also make those too, diabetic pies.
Right.
I mean,
and you get ideas. Some people wanted marshmallows on it. Some people wanted pecans.
So do you special order your pies as well? Meaning, or do you make them like that already?
No, I special order.
Okay.
If a person, they'll contact me, I want 2 dozen of plain. I want 2 dozen of plain and 1 dozen with pecans and 6 with.
Did you go there? Did you? I didn't want to spend too much time on pies.
That's fine. We can move on. It's on you.
No, it's not that. It's that I'm so interested now. So let's get into it, Sean.
Let's go, man.
Broward County. How long you been in Broward?
All my life.
What high school you went to in Broward?
Hollandale High.
Hollandale. Think about Hollandale, man. Hollandale's like right on the
County line.
yeah. So some of them boys be playing around in Dade, and some of them boys come back and play around in Broward. They're our boys, but
Coming up, I spent more time in Dade than up this way. I went to elementary school and middle school up here. I went to Lauderhill Middle. I was supposed to go to BA.
mm-hmm.
So after 8th grade, my mom, we moved back to Hollandale. So that's how I ended up going to Hollandale High.
So you know people all over Broward then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
because that's a. I mean, Hollandale is Broward, but they like the cousin. They on the outskirts.
Mhm.
Hey man, listen, y'all don't beat me up. I'm just saying.
much. No, it's all
We
right.
already know what it is.
Hollandale only, it ain't that big, but
But you're right.
it's home.
And Dania, out there like
Mm-hmm.
them boys, they just scooped up a lot of them boys the other day running around here acting like they don't have any sense. Dania, Hollandale, and I don't know what's going on with the youth in Broward right now, man. But they don't have any respect anymore, man.
It's a different breed. It's a
Right.
different breed of kid. They don't have what we had as kids. And we had guidance from aunties, uncles, grandparents, and parents. They don't have that. Because, in my opinion, a lot of these kids, their parents were kids when they had them. So it's kids raising kids.
That's a big part of the problem. I never even really
Mhm.
looked at it like
They
that
was
from
young.
that perspective. But what I'm seeing is they slapping aunties. When I say slapping, I'm just putting the term lightly because they killing uncles, killing aunts, killing elderly,
Mhm.
like little kids. Like there's no respect for life anymore.
They don't. They have no fear.
Yeah.
They have no fear, no respect. When you have no fear and no respect, there's no consequence. They don't care.
I think a lot of it came from when, they start pulling away from it. When you were in elementary school,
Mhm.
were there did they paddle?
Of course.
You remember paddling?
Yes.
I had a principal. I wasn't in elementary. I think it was elementary. No, it wasn't elementary. I had a principal that had holes in his paddle.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Your paddle's broken." And he said, "My paddle's not broken." I said, "There are all them holes in it." He said, that's so that could get to y'all ass faster."
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that, I didn't understand at the time. But now I'm realizing it's for the wind resistance.
I tell you this. I got paddled one time, Lauderhill Middle. I'm going to tell you how I don't remember the principal's name back then. We were in the office, right? And he had a big old a map on the wall. A globe, but it's a map. It's on a piece of paper. And he's standing in front of that map. So I was standing in front of there. He said, "Where you live at?" I say, "Florida." "Show it to me on the map." Point to it. Right? But and he had me to where I was standing. I had to kind of like bend over a little bit to reach the map. And I put my finger on Florida, and he lit me up, boy. Oh, man. Listen, he set me up decent.
What was the paddling for, though?
Horseplay in the hallway. Horseplay. And that was the last of my first, never again.
So you were in the military. You were in the service.
Mm-hmm. Marines.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate that. So you were in the service, and it was very structured.
Very.
You have to be at a certain place at a certain time. Your uniform have to be pressed. You have to be boot shine. You know what I mean? And it's a very like controlled environment and structured. You went from that into a job it's almost pretty much structured as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be on time. They have a uniform looking in order and nice, and very orderly. Do you think any of that leaked off into your private life, that your home life, as far as you need everything structured and everything in order and in a timely manner, or no?
I would say it played a big part.
Okay.
from military life to civilian life. Do I have to have it that way? No. To that extent, especially not Marines. Marines very structured,
already know.
very disciplined. So, but even to this day, I use that in my everyday life with my kids. Discipline to the fact of like a drill instructor. No,
Right.
but I'm firm. I'm very structured.
You know, the drill instructors these days, they're not as firm
They're not as
they
they're
used
not
to
as tough
be.
as the ones that when I went through.
No, not at all.
No, because society
has changed.
it.
So they
Right.
they can't take.
Back when I went, they could put them paws on you.
I already know.
Right.
Trust me.
So, like this, put it this way. Every Saturday, not because I want to, I'm just programmed that way. I'm up at least by 7 o'clock and I'm doing laundry and I'm cleaning up. That comes from that. I fold my towels to a certain size. I fold my t-shirts to a certain size. It just never went away.
I asked you that question to lead into this. Do you think because of the job and the service and just you being a structured individual, it caused you to have some like form of OCD? Like,
I don't have it that bad. I don't think I have it at all. But my kids, if it was that bad, my kids or anybody I was in a relationship with, they would have said something. But they know it's there. They know the structure is there. Hey, we ain't leaving no trash on the ground. We doing this. And it's just, I try to create structure for a balance in my life and with my kids. So they'll know,
right. No, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it at all. No. To have some form of discipline and some form of timely structure to your life. I mean, I think there's value in it. But I think there's a balance, and I think certain people can handle the way that you are structured, and some people can't. Now, I used to get almost anxiety when like 7:05 was coming around and the kids weren't out the house. Like, the bus is coming. The bus is coming. Like, the bus comes every day at the same time.
Because as veterans, we very timely. And then with our job, that makes it even worse. Because everything about our job is timely.
And then when you don't see the people having the same urgency as you about the structure and the time, I think it might come off as a little bit, hey man, a little bit abrasive. You need to chill out. Like, it's just like, and I think that's what happened in my household.
How we want things and stuff like that, especially like you said, being a veteran. It's not intentional. There's no harm in it. But for a person like a spouse that hasn't experienced what we experienced, they don't see it.
They don't get it.
No.
And nor your children. Your children.
No.
We had to be up. The drill sergeant was kicking in your door and telling you, get up. SSS. Shit, shower, and shave.
Exactly.
Get your ass downstairs. Let's go. And
I needed that. That's how I went to the Marines.
You were aware that you needed that when you went into the service?
Way before.
Wow.
Because I was in Hollandale, I had graduated. I was out of high school 2 years. And I was doing nothing but getting in trouble. Nothing. And it's funny that the recruiter that was chasing me in high school, I was like, I ain't gonna know. Whatever. And I just got tired of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Not doing nothing. And I'm like, man, you 19 years old. You already 2 years out of high school and you ain't did nothing. So I sat up, had that conversation with myself. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my sisters.
How'd your parents feel when you went into the military?
I never stayed with my dad. It was just my mom.
So wait, you grew up in a household with
no father. Just my mom.
I don't believe that. I don't know why I don't believe that. Is your mom still alive?
No. My mom died in 2011.
Rest in peace, Mama. She did a great job, Sean. Because let me tell you something, man. Some of these guys that grow up in, these single. Did you have a stepfather around?
He was there, but not there, because he let my mom do all the discipline stuff. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to come and step on her toes with her kids.
I don't mind.
He didn't do that. So he was in the house, but he wasn't in the house.
Yeah.
You know, anything discipline and what's going on, she handled everything.
Do you think that it was a good environment? Do you think he did it the right way, or would you have liked him to be a little bit more hands-on?
He should have been more firm with me as a man, because, I was a young boy. Man, my mom can only do so much. So looking back on it now, I wish he would have got more involved with me disciplinary-wise, because coming from a man, it would have hit me different,
Do you see yourself giving the younger youth game? Do you purposely give them game, or do you just do it unintentionally?
All the time. I do it on purpose.
You do it on purpose, right? I do too, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the guys are, all right, Uncle Rich, I get shut up, man.
Yeah, my son's friends, my nephews, I put them on.
The term uncle.
Mm-hmm.
You been called that? Anybody say unc or OG?
OG, unc, from my nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that I coach at Lakes.
Old timer.
And to this day, Coach Sean or unc. And to me, it's a sign of respect.
I don't understand why anybody would take that any other way than respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle is a big deal to me.
Mm-hmm. I looked up to mine.
I had a lot of uncles. I had a lot of West Indian uncles. Some things, Jamaican uncles. Some things that some of my uncles told me still stick with me till today. I remember conversations with my
positive
uncles.
Conversations.
Positive.
See,
nothing
mine
negative.
was different.
Your uncles?
Mine was different.
Where your uncles? What's your nationality, Sean?
American.
So where your uncles? Where they came from?
Most of my uncles were born here.
Florida too.
Yeah.
You were Florida in and out.
Right, because my Georgia to Miami. So my mom born in Miami. My uncles, all of them from here.
Mm-hmm.
But my uncles, they was hustlers.
Them boys is out there.
And that's why I learned the game at.
Yeah.
Because it was easy for me. Like my cousins, they had mother, father households.
Mm-hmm.
I just had my mom.
So nobody to beat that ass.
Yeah, because my mom was always working.
Right.
Trying to provide.
Right.
And I had more enough time to get into trouble.
Right.
More enough. And that's what I did. And like you asked me, fast forward, that's why at 19 I said, no, I can't do this. Because I saw my uncles ended up prisons. Then I saw friends, graveyard, prison. And I said, I can't do this.
The fact that you had the foresight and to see at such a young age is really astounding, because some of these guys lean into the fact that they don't have anyone to discipline them or anyone to answer to, and they go the other way. So the fact that you chose a path to serve your country, man, is
I didn't even tell nobody.
I commend
listen,
that, man.
I had old raggedy Chevy. I drove from Hollandale to Pembroke Pines, the recruiter station. I didn't tell nobody. I walked in there, talked to the recruiter. Hey, I need to make a change. Went through the process, took the ASVAB. Still didn't tell my mom. Right? I think I told her the day after I swore in, because I was 19.
You didn't have to answer the MO.
Right. I was 19. She had no idea. And then once I swore in, I said, I got to tell her. Came back home. Hey, I need to talk to you. Today, I joined the Marines. She looked up at me. A tear came down her face, and she just hugged me. That's it.